bendigedig ar, wel, what is it, cyffroes iawn I weld y babyn fach.
I do. I do. It's very, very, very cute. Look, there we go. I'm not sure how mummy's going to feel about me showing him all off on radio, but it's
it was a,
okay.
it was
Fine.
only a short glimpse. That's
A
fine.
short glimpse.
Yeah.
Yes, Sunday morning he was born. It's very cute. So I'm a mam gee. It's very exciting.
Not you.
Yes, me. It's very, very exciting. And mummy is having a well-earned kip at the moment. So she's, mam gee is holding the baby for a moment.
Aw, and but everything all well? Everyone's well?
Everyone is well. Everyone is well. I'm very, very excited to have welcomed this little chap into the world.
Oh, amazing. Was it on the confessions on Thursday? You're like, it's the longest labour ever, but it ended up being the longest, shortest one ever.
It was the longest, shortest one, yeah. So her waters went at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then by 7:15, baby was here. It was amazing. It was really, really good. No painkiller either. She was an absolute legend. No
Well,
pain relief,
because she'd
nothing.
gone through like 2 weeks of being in pain. There was nothing.
It was just very quick. And yeah, so absolute legend she is.
Well, sending all of the wonderful love and hugs and good guidance the way of the whole family and the new one to the world. And I anticipate that your Grati-Tuesday message this morning is along the lines of new birth and wonder into the world.
It is. I mean, I'm absolutely eternally grateful for Withy Bush's midwife led unit, who were amazing, absolutely amazing. So I'm very, very grateful for them today. But it's just reminded me how wonderful new life is, and I know that life is also very difficult and very hard, and often there's an awful lot of people who can't have babies and can't are struggling, and so I hold, and of course last week was baby loss week, wasn't it?
Hmm.
But we're we need to always hold on to that hope as well of new life, and that hope that there is a future, and that hope that there is something good in the world. And I think that's a really important message that we have from Jesus. And I know that He promises that even in the darkest times, even when things are looking really, really poor and bad, that actually there is a hope there. And this is just a reminder of that, regardless of what's going on in the world, regardless of what's going on in our own lives, there is always hope to be had. And new life, of course, is the epitome of that, isn't it? It's kind of like that symbol of that hope that we have, that there will be new life even in the darkness. So um, that's my message for you this morning. It's not particularly profound, and and we're all a little bit sleep deprived here in the house, but actually, it's beautiful and wonderful, and we're all very, very lucky to have such wonder in our lives, aren't we? So I think
Yes.
that's my message for everybody this morning. Hold on to that hope. Hold on to that beauty that the world brings. And yeah, I think that's really, really important.
Yeah, you mentioned there about being sleep deprived and the routine of the family goes completely out the window. And yet there is a togetherness and a connection that one little being can do to a family unit. And
Yeah.
in spite of all of the challenges that are faced, it actually can bring people together and then you come through at the other side as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's really important, isn't it? That we do things together as a family. And actually, I've been reflecting quite a lot on, for another reason, but I've been reflecting quite a lot on Pure West Radio, and the radio as a family, and how you guys do community really, really well, both in the office. I mean, I don't see everything, but I do. I'm sure there are, like in any family, like there's bound to be those moments where you want to kill someone, but actually, what you're doing at Pure West Radio, um, is creating a community around the love of Pembrokeshire, and the love of people, and the love of, um, just because of love. And actually, that's a really, really important thing, um, a really important thing to do. I just see Anna's message just come up there. The best family, the radio family. Absolutely, such an awesome family. And Father Neil and I know feel really, really blessed to be part of that family and to be able to bring a little bit of ourselves to that as well. And I think that's really important. And so even in the darkest times when stuff's going wrong, the radio is there. You guys have become part of the Pembrokeshire family over the last few years, and I think that will just increase as we go DAB later on in the year as well.
It's a very exciting time, and thank you for those comments. You are part of that family. You're here on the breakfast show with me and Gina and OC Davis on Tuesdays, Thursdays. You've got Alive and Kicking on Sunday morning. You are part of that warm embrace, and the likes of Anna, who's a regular contributor, but also the likes of those that listen in their own way and in their own time. You're all part of that community, and what I love being part of the station is that we actually get to go out and about. So tomorrow is a prime example, is that we're going to be at Coppet Hall, and for the Access for All Open Day at Coppet Hall with the Pembrokeshire Coast National Park and with Visit Pembrokeshire, looking at how we can make Pembrokeshire even more accessible to more people and increasing that family feel and that big hug with everybody, so that no one feels like they can't be part of something regardless of their background. We get to share it with everyone, and we're going to be live there tomorrow between 1 and 5. And we're not just there for a joy, we're going to be meeting with the individuals that want to make Pembrokeshire even more open to more people. And we're speakers, we're mouthpieces for the people that are actually shaking in the communities. It's great.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think for me, if as a church we could grab hold of some of those things that Pure West Radio seems to do so well, the community, I think the church would be better off as well. I think actually sometimes we need to, and that's what I've been reflecting on. Actually, Pure West Radio, and I'm sure other radio stations are the same, but Pure West Radio does what we try to do in church, and we don't do it badly. We do it so well. And so I think for me, I'm thinking, how can I take some of what you guys do and turn that around so that we can do something similar as church? And I think a lot of that is actually going out to people and being open to people and being available to people all of the time. And I think that's a really important thing that we've lost somewhere in church, and I think that's a really important thing for us to reflect on. So in a lot of ways I think you're doing church better than we do church.
I'm going to slice this bit off and feel like and give it back to you, because I know the efforts that particularly you and Father Neil go through, and just grateful for that, the spirit that you bring to your communities, because not everyone wants to be part of organized religion, but everybody wants to be listened to, and everybody wants to be respected for who they are, and that's something that we can all do very well. And that's something which excites me whenever I'm in your company, is that it doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, you're going to be greeted as who you are. And that's something that if we could take that forward, then I think we'll all do something a bit better, and Pembrokeshire will continue to open its doors to more and more people. So one step at a time, and with new life coming into these into these worlds with that mantra and with that vision, then hopefully we'll only become a more and more friendly and more opening place.
Absolutely. And I'm amazed how we've managed to go from the birth and new life into a theological reflection on the church, and how
and then we brought it back to new birth. Hey, some people
Amazing.
think that we're actually good at this. Thank you so much, Reverend Sophie. I imagine that when you tag Mother back awake, that you're going to make the most of having a nap, hopefully.
Actually, I've got a meeting. I've got a meeting at 10 o'clock, so I'm going to try and get onto that if I can. I'm going to try and get them to do it via Zoom so that I don't have to leave the house.
That sounds wise.
And then I can just collapse and heap on the floor afterwards. But it's only for a week or two until Mum and Dad are into a routine, and then they'll be back on it. So
once they figure it all out, you can read all the books you want, but until it hits you, I imagine that you don't actually know what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Reverend Sophie, thank you so much. Sending lots of love and hugs again to you and the whole family, to the brood.
Thank you.
And look forward to catching up with you soon. Confessions on Thursday morning. Hopefully you'll be able to join us then. Send your confession in now, studio@purewestradio.com. And of course, you'll be back on Alive and Kicking on Sunday morning.
On Sunday morning, yeah.
Coming up next, we got some What's On. So do you have a What's On lined up your sleeve there, Reverend Sophie?
Oh my word, that is a very good question. Do you know, Tom? I'm not sure. I know whether I'm upside down or what I am right now. There will be lots of what's ons coming up because we've got lots of things planned for the Christmas season, which is
Of course.
looming, but we're not quite there yet. But nothing that I can think of immediately right off the top of my head.
No problem. We're going to have, what's on? We're going to have Rascal Flatts and we're going to have The Feeling. Love It When You Call heading your way as we come up to 9:20, only 11 and a half minutes to get involved with your Unscramble today. Reverend Sophie, once more, thank you so much for your time on this Grati-Tuesday morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
OC Davis, with over 50 years in the motor industry, is the